What is going on at Giga, Nevada with the semi line? It is the most forgotten factory in all of Tesladom. Oh, except Giga Buffalo, which I guess we forgot. This has been a lot of progress. We've seen a lot of movement out there, and it's moving real quick. I'm getting a lot of questions about it, so why don't we just take a moment and address them? I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. I've had people asking me to cover this one, and I want to. It's just that it moved so quickly. I was out of town on the road when it first got in motion, and by the time I got back, it was moving very quickly. Zanegler is doing a fantastic job of covering it, so why don't we take a look at some of his work and show him some love. He's over here on the Tubes of You at Zanegler Tesla Semi Stalker, but I will put that in the description. I do have permission to use the material, and I'm going to cover it lightly enough that it is your incentive to go and cover it more thoroughly yourself. So if we're looking at timelines, 4 months ago, we saw this. Grading. It's getting in motion. It's a big pile of dirt, and they're just kind of moving dirt. You know, we've seen them move dirt before and not build. We saw a outline of a building that was going to be built where they now have the end of line building in Austin. It ultimately wasn't built. The footprint that they laid out in gravel did not come to pass. Didn't want to cover it prematurely. I have done so before. But then on July 23rd, by July 23rd, we got to see progress that looked more like this. Ah, yes, the familiar squares are emerging. This outer part here is the perimeter grade beam. It is where they attach the outside walls. In the middle, these are footings, and they are quite big. You can see by scale, that's a pickup truck. While it wouldn't fit in that hole, it would definitely fit in some of these. So what's going on? They're digging holes. They put in the rebar, and then they, pour the concrete over that. Now, a question I'd had at the time was, could they accelerate this? The answer was no, because temperatures were too high, and there's no need to. You need concrete that will test to a certain PSI, and that PSI, you can accelerate it from the 30-day minimum curing by using a higher test concrete, but that's more expensive, and all it does is mean that you can move 1 week faster on your build time. Not critical for this, but you can see it's getting quite big. I had a post on X recently where I showed the size comparison. This is going to be like 1 million square feet, maybe 2 million. I don't remember now, but it is vastly larger than, for example, the Kenworth factory in Kent, Washington, Renton, Washington. In Washington, that is only about 340,000 square feet. It is at least 3 times bigger. It is quite big. And Tesla uses more interesting and revolutionary product designs. You can see this tarp covering here in the corner. That's how they get it to cure properly despite summer heat. One obstacle I saw early on was that they did not have cranes on site. Now, we had seen before this a buildup of materials around the site. We saw them stockpiling steel, quite a bit of it. There it is. We could see steel being stockpiled. No, I guess that isn't it. There we are. Outside at the edge. And they're like, well, all the steel's here. Where are the cranes? Well, the cranes are not coming. What else you got? And this is thinking at the speed of Tesla thought. Oh, I need to boop this. Yeah, throw likes. Hey, there's one on this video as well. You can try that. This is moving along as quickly as you can. We don't have cranes. What do we got? I don't know, bucket trucks. We got cherry pickers. Okay, well, we'll start with those and see how far it goes. But you can see a lot of the footings were coming along. This is only as of August 26th. Pretty exciting. And then September 14th. This is less than a month later. This is 3 weeks later. You can see most of the footings are in. Not all. Okay, about half. And not only have walls gone up, but the first layer of roof decking has gone up. This is... Now, on this one, what I had been planning to do was provide not a target date, but a target range. And as we're seeing it unfold, this would be coming in at the very earliest part of my range because it's moving very quickly. This is not a multi-floor building that would take longer to build. So this would be something comparable in complexity to phase 1 of Giga Shanghai. And even a little simpler than that, because as you can see from the lack of ginormous footings, they don't have space for casting machines or the kind of stamping machines you would need to stamp out whole cars, so to speak. So this is moving real quick. Now Zanegler, he's a character. I like him. I think he's feisty and fiery, and I hope to meet him next time I get to Reno. But this is very big. You can see they're using these same oversized forklifts to do all the work. OSHA hates this one trick. I'm sure it's all compliant. They've got the steel laid out and ready to go. That makes it very fast. They're just building space, essentially. And yeah, these are not complicated in terms of building out the actual space. And here you can see them moving some actual pieces here. You can see how this lifter is going to do it. It's got these spacings that grab it by each of the, well, I guess some of the cross members, these trusses, and it's gonna go. Zanegler gets some great footage. He is our only man in the sky down there. Yeah, you can see how it grabs it just right and then angles it up into place. It's super cool. Now, this roof doesn't have to be the kind of incredibly rigid thing that we saw in Austin. Austin needs to have the ability to survive lateral forces. It needs to have a second and third floor that are as robust as the first floor for everything apart from stamping and casting. This is all going on one floor. This roof is not designed to be a structural element. You're not hanging bridge cranes from this unless all they're moving is furniture. No, this roof is designed to keep the rain and sun out of the building. It's designed to keep you indoors instead of out. This goes very quick. This doesn't. This takes a minute here, but you get the idea. And yeah, for scale, that's a dude. Very cool. Love it. And our most recent update here, we've got this one. This is from just a couple days ago. And this is showing how incredibly quick. I mean, look at how quick. We're like 60% done with at least the initial layer of roof decking. We've got the final roofing material here where they add a layer of insulation and also a layer of waterproofing, weatherproofing. But you can see of the footprint, we're already at 60%. This is going quick. If they finish the roof before Christmas break, I would be, I expect that. I'll be very surprised. If the roof is not finished by Christmas break, the walls are going up a week or two behind it. And there's the semi on display. Photogenic. That semi, I assume, is the dad, and he's supervising. He's overseeing the operations. What other buildings are going to be out here? We don't know. For that matter, we don't actually know what goes where necessarily. They don't need to make the heavy steel frames in-house. They don't need to have big casting machines, big stamping machines necessarily. This is more of an assembly facility. The steel chassis is likely going to be made by a company that specializes in doing that. It's probably not the highest margin business to begin with, and this is a very expensive truck, so waiting to bring that proficiency in-house would make sense. There's a lot to see here. I do hope you get a chance to check out Zanegler's channel because he does fantastic work. Yeah, and then let's see if there's anything else I need to cover here. You can see these are going to be loading docks. By the way, they're recessed, so you can put in a leveler for the trucks coming in, dropping off equipment, taking out whatever. Deliveries, loading docks. So that is what I have to share on that. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get more coverage of this. It is quite challenging in terms of the edit and the time commitment to do it. And This is moving so quickly that I don't think it matters. The batteries are coming from next door. The steel chassis are coming in from who knows where. I would guess the Midwest. That is where a lot of those things are made. And they'll ship out to anywhere in the US and likely internationally as well, because there is no left-hand, right-hand drive. It's only center drive. It's the same in all countries. There is no restrictions in a lot of countries on products like this. And some of the other countries, we have reason to believe that they've got them sorted out. We believe that they've got an EU variant that customers are potentially willing to buy. What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it all in the comments below and stay tuned and juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, if I ever get to Reno. Yeah. By the way, I will be. I should have mentioned this sooner. Bury it? Should I bury it? Bury it at the end? I may be going to Chattanooga at the end of March for the big multi-state owners club event there, hosted by at least Mississippi, Colorado, and Maryland, I think, and put on at the Test Bros location. So if you're in Tennessee, let me know. Let's have a chat. Yeah, and I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, then, I guess.